Hi, back with Hiro in Bingasm Weekly Review. Okay, so today's episode is going to be in English because for this particular product, I have made a separate video on different channel with Bahasa Indonesia. So for today, it is going to be in English for Bingasm Weekly Review. Okay, so let's get to the point. Let's talk about the problem first. I love to brew coffee, and throughout my years brewing coffee, talking to people, I want to invite more people to brewing their own coffee at home, at competition, at the office, everywhere. And brewing may look simple, but it turns out to be really challenging and hard. So I spent the last 4 to 5 years doing research and testing, and together with Don and Suji in Bandung to develop a product that will help us to brew better, brew easier, and more consistent. So you can brew good coffee very consistent. So that is the problem. And I found out, sorry, not the problem. The problem I found out later in my research that what makes brewing hard is one factor that is called channeling. So I already spoke about this in my competition. Channeling is a condition where there are empty spaces or materials with lesser mass than the coffee within the same environment. So when we brew, they all stick together. So water will bypass the coffee grounds instead of going through and extracting flavors. So channeling will cause your beverage to taste weak, watery, and unpleasant. Channeling also is the biggest cause to inconsistency. You may find this when you're brewing at home, same coffee, but when you brew it in the morning and in the evening, it's going to be different in terms of brew time and everything. That is because of channeling. And through this dripper, I'm trying to solve everything. So that is the problem. Channeling is causing brewing to be really hard. Channeling is causing your coffee to be inconsistent, and channeling just makes your coffee brewing miserable. Now, the solution. This product is to help. When I designed this product, I have 3 things that I want to give to the customers, which is durability, consistency, and easiness or easy to use. So let me first, sorry about that. The first one is the material. SD-1, the name is SD-1, meaning Suprima Dripper 1. Suprima Instruments is the brand. The material is polycarbonate, very high quality and food grade, so it is going to last you forever. It's not going to break, it's not going to decolor. It's gonna hold forever and ever, and it will perform always in its best condition. That is the quality. Now, the material. Now to the feature. I designed the inside to be completely flat, so the wall inside is very flat. This is to minimize channeling because there will be no gap between the filter and the wall. Unlike traditional dripper, when you put some filter, there will be gaps between the filter and the wall. With SD-1, you will not find any gap because the inner wall is really flat and everything sticks to the wall. So zero gap. This minimizes channeling because all of the water will go downwards and through the coffee. Secondly, there are also 3 deep and narrow channels that provide just enough airflow, because without proper airflow we will not have consistency. This airflow will regulate the way you brew your coffee and keep your brew same brew to brew, day to day, and every time. So that is about the dripper. And one last thing, throw test, because I've never done this anywhere on YouTube or everywhere. So today, to show that this dripper will hold the test of time, I'm going to throw this and show you that it will not break. The director will throw away. Ta-da! Okay, so it will hold true, meaning, of course, it will break if you want to break it. If you intend to break it, it will break, but it will not break because of usage, meaning when you drop it by accidentally or using it with hot water, cold water, it will not break. Nice. Now, okay, so the box will say this is the one, because I spent almost 5 years designing this, so at last this is the one. Hopefully this will be your last dripper that will help you in your cafe and everywhere. Now let's move on to brewing. Before brewing, the last and most important part with SD-1 is how you fit the filters, because SD-1 will perform at its best when you fit the filters correctly. So today I'm going to show to you that I'm going to brew with 2 different types of filters, which then I will also show you how to fit them properly in a separate video. No, not separate video, in a separate section. Okay. Airnya belum panas. So coffee, today I'm going to use a very basic recipe. This recipe, of course, you can try at home with SD-1, but this is just a basic recipe. So I encourage you to try your own recipe. Go wild, explore. Today is going to be 13 grams of coffee to 210 mLs of water, with 35-second intervals between each pour. So this is the same recipe that I used in the national competition. As we prepare for the Athens championship this month, so we have plenty of delicious coffees laying around. So today I'm going to brew some very nice geisha from Longboard in Panama. This is going to be really nice. Now for grinding, today I'm going to use the Mazer ZM, because this is also the sponsored grinder in the WBrC. So let's get familiarize ourselves with the grinder. In terms of grind size, this grinder is slightly different from what we use here, the EK43, because the EK use dials and this more like microns. So we set the microns and the grinder will adjust itself. For today, I'm going to use a 490 microns. I think it is the medium grind size. We'll grind first. So good.
Okay, the water is now ready for this recipe. I'm going to use 93 degrees Celsius. I'm going to wet the water first. Oh, not here. Okay, now I'm back from the sink to push all the filter downwards and fit and get a perfect fit within the SD-1. With that, the hot water is just gonna rinse the filter. So we use normal water in the sink to push first and get a perfect fitment. Then later, hot water is just gonna rinse everything all together, getting a hot, nice temperature equilibrium, and we're ready for brew. Just a nice circular pour, not too little, not too much. And that's it. We are ready to brew. Water 93 degrees. So the clear SD-1, I'm using a standard filter. This is a Kafek Abaka size 02. And the smoke SD-1, I'm using a no-brand paper filter, which is a non-woven filter. So this is two different filters on the same device, and we will compare how they both taste and what does it affect on this dripper. Start. Okay, so now as we wait for the brews to finish, I will recap the recipe that I used for today. Coffee 13 grams, water 210 ml, which is divided into 3 pours. The first pour is 40 ml of water from 0 to 35 seconds, and then the second pour is until 110 ml, starting from 35 seconds until 1 minute and 10 seconds, and then the third pour is from 1 minute and 10 seconds until its ending. Like right now it's 2:43 minutes, and the water until 210 ml. So 40 ml, 110 ml, and 210 ml with 35-second intervals. Now we are done. The brew time is around 3 minutes. It is 3 minutes and 15 seconds. This one is 3 minutes and 10 seconds, so kind of similar with different papers. This is to be expected. When brewing with SD-1, longer brew time should be expected, because this is what I aim with this dripper. Longer contact time. This will push out more sweetness in your coffee without sacrificing the mouthfeel and aftertaste. So you will get very rounded mouthfeel, very smooth, but with high intensity of sweetness. Now we are done. Let's move on to tasting these coffees. First is the aroma. Alright, now sekarang sudah maaf nggak bisa bahasa Indonesia. Now that we are done with the coffee, let's try the aroma first. No, aroma is done. Wait, hello coach. Okay, please, I'm sorry. Ardi cannot speak English. He only speaks bahasa Indonesia, Sunda, and Italian. So, buongiorno, man. Nih buat lo nih, yang gelas ini nih. Aduh. Please evaluate the brew. Aroma. Flavors are not important, so how's the aroma, how's the acidity, how's the mouthfeel, how's the aftertaste, and lastly how's the overall balance of the flavors. In Italian.
Susah banget.
Okay.
Oke.
Bahasa Indonesia aja nggak apa-apa di.
Buat aroma, intensitasnya lebih bagus yang ini sih.
Oke.
Gitu. Jadi ini lebih jelas banget dari segi fruitiness-nya, terus juga ada manisnya sedikit. Terus kalau untuk acidity lebih nyaman yang ini juga sih sebenarnya. Kalau yang ini itu masih agak lebih tajam gitu.
Jadi memang ini tuh ada bedanya, ya kan? Cuman ini bukan semata-mata kita mencari membeda-bedakan, tapi justru dengan alat yang sama kita bisa dapat, dengan alat yang sama filter berbeda. Kalau dulu itu kan beda filter langsung ngubahnya kayak wah, kayak aduh banyak banget gitu, kayak mulai lagi dari nol. Nah ini tuh lu nggak usah takut gitu. Jadi kayak beda filter ya treatmentnya sama aja, brew time-nya juga sama, cara nyeduhnya sama, tapi rasanya beda-beda. Jadi kayak
ada kekurangan kelebihan.
Yes, dua-duanya enak, tapi ada kekurangan, ada kelebihan. Jadi lo ya nggak usah mulai dari nol lagi. Kalau dulu mungkin orang pakai no brand, gila cepet banget. Terus pakai yang ini, lama banget, kaget. Ini sama aja, garisnya sama, semua sama, dua-duanya enak gitu. Jadi sekarang kita udah coba, cuman gue mau nanya pendapat lo nih, karena kalau dari gue pasti agak bias karena gue yang mendesain kan, jadi pasti gue ngomongnya bagus-bagus terus gitu. Nah kalau menurut lo gimana?
Oke.
Udah pakai ini selama 2-3 minggu.
Kalau menurut Andi, jadi sebenarnya kalau menggunakan SD-1 itu kalau mau dibilang bagusnya, pertama konsisten iya. Terus yang kedua, kalau mau dibilang kita jadi bisa lebih bisa melakukan banyak hal lagi. Jadi habis itu nih, itu bisa kita tinggal dulu. Itu iya juga gitu. Jadi masih ada apa ya, kesan
Jadi apa ya? Nggak perlu banyak lu perhatiin gitu ya?
Iya, terlalu banyak diperhatiin. Cuma kekurangannya nih yang kedua. Jadi cuma 2 aja ya. 2 dulu aja. Kekurangannya yang pertama, kalau dosnya
kekurangan pertama apa?
Kekurangan yang pertama, kalau dosnya itu lebih dari 15, nah itu butuh penyesuaian lagi tuh. Jadi grand size-nya bener-bener jauh banget dari yang biasanya dipakai. Kalau misalkan dengan dripper biasa ya. Terus yang kedua, untuk bermain interval puring, nah ini juga nggak bisa terlalu banyak, tapi ada satu kuncinya. Kalau dari yang kita udah coba juga, itu harus dengan waktu 10 detik. Itu baru drawdown airnya start. Jadi kalau misalnya lebih dari itu, ya ada faktornya mungkin.
Oke, jadi kalau dari feedback lo nih, gue ambil kesimpulan dengan SD-1 ini kekurangannya, gue paham sih. Buat lo memang lo merasa ini sebuah kekurangan, tapi memang kalau buat gue justru ini kelebihannya. Tapi ya ini setiap orang beda-beda. Jadi memang dengan SD-1 itu tidak bisa terlalu banyak agitasi, sama tidak bisa terlalu banyak interval tuangan. Nah, ada yang bisa bilang itu kekurangan, bisa. Ada yang bisa bilang itu kelebihan, bisa juga. Jadi memang dibuat seperti itu karena desainnya dan cara kerjanya memang SD-1 tidak bisa terlalu banyak.
Betul, dan itu ada di boxnya loh.
Iya, jadi nggak bisa terlalu banyak. Jadi lu nggak bisa kayak mau cut gitu, nggak bisa ya. Nggak bisa yang main 5 kali pur, nggak bisa. 6 kali nggak bisa. Atau lu mau habis itu agitasi, aduk, nggak bisa gitu. Ya, kenapa ya? Ya karena fungsinya tadi emang dia udah mengkontrolnya dari mekanisme cara kerjanya. Jadi kalau kita terlalu banyak agitasi, malah ya mampet atau segala macam, atau malah jadinya ya salah gitu. Jadi cara kerjanya memang sebagai pengguna kita nggak bisa terlalu banyak agitasi dan terlalu banyak jumlah tuangan. Gitu. Ya cocok-cocokan berarti kan?
Cocok-cocokan. Gitu. Jadi sebenarnya memang kalau menggunakan ini ya untuk yang apa ya, orang yang cari simple aja sih gitu. Mungkin kopinya udah enak, gue nggak bingung nih nyeduhnya, gue udah pakai ini.
Jadi gue udah boleh recap nih dengan bahasa Inggris. Setelah lu dari tadi menjelaskan dengan bahasa Itali, kan audiens nggak paham.
Betul.
Ya dari tadi lu ngomong bahasa Itali gitu, audiens nggak paham. Jadi sekarang gue mau merekap dengan bahasa Inggris gitu. Terima kasih Massimo.
See you guys.
Buongiorno. So now we are going to wrap up this video with some summary about SD-1. For those who missed what we talked just now in bahasa, I'm going to summarize it for you. So from these 2 brews with different paper filters, we are getting similar brewing experience with different results. So usually when you brew with different filters, how you brew is going to be really different. This time with 2 different filters and the same grind size, the way this brew is really the same. In terms of brew time, how we pour the coffee, and how we do everything is all the same, but the result is different. So you know what I mean. In terms of the result, each filter has its own weaknesses and plus. So everything is really good, but has different characteristics. Gak bisa bahasa Indonesia. Oke. Sampai mana gua? So to follow up pros and cons about SD-1. Pro, it is made to last. It will not break. It is very simple to brew.
It doesn't require a lot of attention when you brew it doesn't require a lot of techniques, different filters. The experience is going to be the same. Of course, the result is going to be different. So it's an all-around easy to use coffee device with excellent results. The cons. For some people, this may be the cons, but for some people, this may not be. With SD-1, it requires less agitation and fewer number of pores, meaning you cannot do too much swirling or stirring or the roll spin. You cannot do a lot of that, and you cannot do too much intervals, like 5 intervals or 6 intervals. The way it is designed, it is just not it will not accommodate a lot of agitation and a lot of pores. The brew will stale, it will choke, it will not produce consistent and excellent results. So in order to use SD-1, use less agitation and use smaller number of pores. For me, it is a huge plus. For some, it may be a cons, but for me, definitely pros. So that's about it with SD-1. I hope you enjoy this weird videos with other baristas coming, with Ardi who speaks Italian. I'll see you on the next Bingasm Weekly Review.